Well, let's see if I can get these bonuses out of the way before fifth period. What are the real solutions to the equation x to the 2/3 minus 1 minus x to the 1/3? Definitely a upper level algebra 2 question. What we're going to do is we're going to go for what's called standard form. We're going to move everything to the left. If that guy jumps over, it becomes negative. And then we're going to do something called factoring. This is going to seem kind of funny here, but I'm going to put an x to the 1/3 and x to the 1/3 there because when I multiply like terms, I add the exponential space. So that gives me the x to the 2/3. Now, in order to get a -1, I have to have a +1 and I have to have a -1. That's not going to work now, is it? That's not going to work at all. Okay, so scratch that. This is kind of a very interesting problem. It was a good idea. It doesn't factor. We're going to use what's called U substitution. That'll make this a little bit simpler. I'm going to let, it's called U substitution. It's a technique I used to teach. I might teach it again this year, it just depends. I'm going to let U be the thing in the middle, x to the 1/3. And if I squared the thing in the middle, I'd have x to the 2/3. So this becomes U squared minus U minus 1. And it doesn't factor. So I'm going to do the quadratic formula. Because x equals -b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now in this case, it's not actually x equals, it's literally u equals. A is in front of u squared, b is in front of u, and c is the number at the end. So plugging in, I would have opposite of a -1, a +1, plus or minus square root of a -1 squared. If you're going to square it, keep it positive. Minus 4 times a, which is this one right here, times c, which is that one at the end. And it's all sitting pretty over twice a1. Cleaning the math up inside, we have 1 plus or minus square root of 1 plus 4, which is 5. Both pieces sitting over 2. What a funny answer. Is this the problem where the right answer wasn't shown? It's there. It's not there. That's the issue with this problem. I don't think the correct answer is there. They cube rooted that one. The odds of that happening are really, really small. I had 1 plus a root of 5 sitting over a 2. And that is supposed to be cubed. What are the odds that that's 2 plus a root of 5? I'll be darned, it is there. So anyways, the next step on this, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on doing this in the video, is that this is u. And remember, u was x to the 1/3. So x to the 1/3 is 1 plus root of 5 over 2, or it's 1 minus root of 5 over 2. And the opposite of cube rooting is cubing. And if you cube those things, you get an answer choice. All right? 15, the graph displayed shows the graph of a parabola with x-intercepts as labeled. What is the equation of said parabola? I don't know where it is on your form quiz, but somewhere on your form quiz, you have something along the lines of y equals a times x minus p times x minus q. That's a general intercept idea. This is p, that's q. And when we enter or leave parentheses, our signs change. So I can have y equals a times x plus 1 times x minus 3 And I can look at this point right here, and it gives me an x and a y value. I can use substitution. Y is -2 when x happens to be 0. This is something that's tough for a lot of kids to swallow this pill. All right, if I do 0 and 1, I get 1. If I do 0, take away 3, I get -3. So this gives me -2 equals -3a. If I divide out the -3, I get that a is 2/3. I'm just going to put that right there. My equation is y equals 2/3 of x plus 1 times x minus 3. And that's it. Like, it's not a hard problem. None of this stuff is, if you memorize. Which of the following expressions is equal to blah, 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 divided by blah, 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 on the intervals for which they are both defined. This is asking you to factor and simplify. That's what it's saying. Factor and simplify. Some of y'all know how to factor, some of you don't. But x squared plus 5x is x plus 2 times x plus 3 because the outside has a product of 6. 2x, 3x, 5x. It is divided by x plus 3 times x minus 1 for the same reasons, because we're not a factor, we're going to guess and check. And we're dividing that by this guy. That's going to factor as x plus 2 and x plus 1. And the bottom piece is what we call the difference of two squares. It's x minus 1 times x plus 1. Feel free to check that by doing the FOIL technique and see that I'm right. The division of a fraction is multiplication of the reciprocal. There's some stuff I can already throw out the window, but I'm going to flip this fraction and change it to multiplication. Now I'm seeing some stuff I can already throw out the window here, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it away. If a factor exists in both numerator and denominator, it's gone. And let's see what I've got left. If I multiply, I would have x plus 2 times x minus 1, sitting pretty over x minus 1 times x plus 2. That's gone. That's gone. Reduced down to 1. Something divided by itself is just 1. Moving forward, Joe has 3 cats named Amy, Beth, and Meg. She needs to know how much each of them weighs, but they are skittish, and she can only get on the scale with one of the other cats. So she has to weigh 2 cats at a time. I'm going to call Amy A. I'm going to call Beth B. I'm going to call Meg M. She knows that Amy and Meg together weigh 17 pounds. So Amy plus Meg is 17. Amy and Beth weigh 19. Amy plus Beth is 19. And Meg and Beth together weigh 22. So we have a system of equations, which is what we just did. It really is. So let's take a look at what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to solve something for maybe A. So I'm going to take this equation and say that Amy is 17 minus Meg. And then I can use substitution. Put that right there. 17 minus Meg plus Beth is 19. And if I move the 17 over, I have negative Meg plus Beth is 2. And I'm just going to go ahead and move. I want to know what Beth weighs, right? How much does Beth weigh? So let's move this M over. Beth is 2 plus M. Bell rings, so I got to finish this up real quick. Put that right. Oh, I did that wrong. I want to solve for M. Solve for the wrong variable. Okay, now I'm where I need to be. I want to solve for M. Negative, let's just move the M to the other side. Negative M equals 2 minus B. Divide by the negativity. Meg is 2, negative 2 plus Beth. And then I can put that there. -2 plus Beth is 22. 2 Beths is 24. Beth is a 12-pound kitty cat. That's a big old girl for a kitty cat. That was most of the bonus, but kids are already knocking on the door, so I'm done.